like the video.
It's 2025 and Jake Paul is still out here swinging on anyone and everyone as long as the money is good and the odds are in his favor. After beating YouTubers Anderson Gibb and Deji, after beating a retired basketball player and 3 or 4 retired UFC fighters in a boxing match, not to mention boxing up an almost 50-year-old Anderson Silva before beating on an almost 60-year-old Mike Tyson, Jake Paul is finally fighting a real boxer. Well, it's not like the very first time he did fight a real boxer. Once before, it was Tommy Fury, and Tommy Fury took him to school. But coming up, newly announced just today, he is boxing Gervonta Davis.
Wow!
Yeah. If you don't know, Gervonta Davis is 30 years old. He has 30 wins and no losses, winning 28 of his fights by knockout. So, pretty big challenge for Jake Paul, right? Finally stepping up?
No!
In case you didn't know, Gervonta Davis is 5'5" and is anywhere between 130 and 140 pounds. Jake Paul is 6 foot 200 pounds. Why are we even surprised?
Welcome back to Wing Wong Wednesday.
Derapy. Maybe I'm the problem, because I have this fascination with Jake Paul's boxing career that has persisted for far too long. I have this joke with my friends where I'm like, every single time Jake Paul boxes, I bet on him 100% of the time. He's not taking fights that he thinks that he has a chance of losing. There's always some weird disadvantage that the opponent has, and he always convinces millions of people to watch every time. He can't keep getting away with it.
He can't keep getting away with it!
But he will. Because I'm going to watch, especially because it's on Netflix. I don't even have to pay anything. It's literally already there. And when it comes to betting on him, it's like, again, he's probably going to win because he wouldn't take the fight unless he knew that he was going to. But on the other hand, if he loses, yeah, I might lose like $5-10, but seeing Jake Paul get knocked out or humiliated publicly with that ego, oh, chef's kiss. Literally worth the money. I can't lose, but he can, but he just usually doesn't. But where the real
Wing Wong
behavior comes in is just the fact that Jake Paul has this air about him. He's talked frequently about being a boxing champion, like world champion. Delulu. He started boxing 7 years ago, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to be the greatest. But he refuses to participate in a serious fight. It's always an old man or an older man or someone who's retired or someone who hasn't actually trained to box as long as he has. And despite knowing that there's this advantage, he still finds a way to portray himself as an underdog. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick. It makes me ill.
What a sick joke!
But the marketing is really impressive. I can't lie. Like, news of this Jake Paul boxing event finds me wherever I am, wherever I go. So yeah, he's boxing this little demon, Gervonta Tank Davis, and dude looks like a beast. A small beast. Smaller than me, actually. But it's going to be a spectacle, as always, and Jake Paul may be a complete
Wing Wong.
Cherry-picking bouts, but Netflix doesn't care. They're throwing a bag at him regardless, and I'm going to be there trying to see if the little guy puts him to bed. It would be great. Like, culturally speaking, it would be a dub.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
In other extremely important news, we have a statement from the President of the United States on Truth Social talking about the importance of eliminating wokeness in 2025 still for some reason.
The museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been.
Bro is upset that a American museum is talking about how bad slavery was. Bro, the country is not that old. Slavery was not that long ago. It's a pretty big deal. Also, how bad it was. Are you upset that it's not being shown in like a more positive light? Is it not like the worst thing we did? Like top 2, top 3 gotta be one of the worst things that's happened in American history. You're just like,
Why are you talking about how bad it was?
You also wouldn't believe just how long this post is about a Smithsonian museum?
Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. We are not going to allow this to happen, and I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities, where tremendous progress has been made. This country cannot be woke, because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including in our museums.
Wing Wong.
It's so hard to come to terms with the fact that this is something that is so important to Trump that he needs to make this long statement about it on Truth Social. I used to believe that when Trump was posting things on Twitter that it was all coming directly from his little hands, but I have a hard time believing that like Donald John Trump himself went to a museum, saw exhibits on slavery and was like,
Oh, ew, oh, God. Why isn't there anything about the future in this museum that's about things that happened in the past?
Also, like, unironically using the term woke to describe what's going on in a museum is so unserious.
Orange Wing Wong.
I said it must be, cause the nigga got dough.
Next, we have Lil Yachty, also known as
Lil Boat.
He recently played a snippet of his song on very popular streamer Playboy Max's broadcast, and here's that snippet.
ITSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd.
Stop!
Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd? What? For those of you who don't know, George Floyd was a black man who died under the knee of a police officer named Derek Chauvin. He was convicted of murder after having his knee pressed into George Floyd's neck for 9 consecutive minutes back in 2020. It was on video. It was pretty awful and a pretty big deal as well. And no more than 5 years later, we got Lil Yachty rapping about putting his knee on some chick's neck like she's George Floyd. I mean, I wouldn't. The rap or the act.
ITSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd.
Oh, brother, this guy's sick!
Look, I'm not going to pretend to be absolutely outraged by this. What I will say is that Lil Yachty is now 27 years old, and there's simply no excuse to be saying wild shit like this. Lil Yachty, you are in fact
A Wing Wong.
apparently former NBA player Steven Jackson like pressed Lil Yachty about it in this video, calling him all types of names, saying that he's out of pocket, etc., etc. Steven Jackson was close with George Floyd before he passed, and Steven Jackson would come out and say that him and Lil Yachty got in touch personally and they squashed it, and he says they apologized to each other, which I think is odd. I don't really know why Steven Jackson was apologizing. I mean, he did say some wild stuff about Lil Yachty, but it's like, if my friend dies and you're rapping about how you're going to do to some chick what somebody did to kill my friend, I'm not gonna be like, hey man, I'm sorry, I kind of overreacted to my anger towards you. Like, what? I mean, I guess I can credit Lil Yachty for reaching out to Steven Jackson and trying to make things right, but still, like, there's just, how do you even get to a place where you think the bar is appropriate to begin with, but you know, don't do drugs.
I wrote this record while 30,000 feet in the air.
So Kai Cenat, who is one of the top streamers in the world, was live on his broadcast talking about why he doesn't want to do content with fellow streamer Adin Ross on Adin Ross's stream.
Need something, I got your back online. I said respectfully, in real life, I got you, bro. But when it comes to this content shit, I'm not in the mental state to be in front of your niggas.
So Kai Cenat is saying that when it comes to real life situations, anything outside of content, he's there for him. Whatever he needs, still can rely on him. But when it comes to being in front of Adin Ross's audience, it's not something he's interested in. Let's hear why.
As soon as a nigga of color hop onto the stream, it's straight watermelon and gorillas, nigga. I'll watch. Oh!
Imagine trying to explain this clip to your grandparents. Basically, Kai Cenat is saying every time he sees a person of color on Adin Ross's stream as a guest, the chat is spamming racist things, emojis, terms, phrases, and he simply doesn't want to be a part of it, which seems fair to me. Let's hear how Adin Ross responds to this.
I just wish he didn't say that, though.
Why?
I really wish he didn't say that.
Why?
As soon as there's somebody with color on your stream.
Why?
We don't have to make this about race at all.
Why not?
We don't have to make this about race at all. Like, there's no reason to do that at all.
Why not?
But he's just explaining why he personally doesn't want to be on your stream. How could you not make it about race when race is literally the issue? He's explaining exactly why he doesn't want to do the content. It's because he sees how your audience treats people of color, and you're like, oh no, why is he saying that out loud online where people can hear it?
I get what he's saying. Like, when there's somebody with color on their stream, they spam monkey and watermelons and stuff. When there's a Jew on stream, they'll spam the craziest shit in my chat.
Okay.
When there's a Mexican on stream, they'll spam shit on my chat. When there's a Chinese person on stream, they'll spam my shit on my chat.
So he's right then?
It's not just one specific race, guys. It's every fucking race.
This is the worst possible response. I think the only worst response would be, I know the chat is going to be racist to you. Just get over it. I think for second place is this clip right here. Dude, they're racist to everybody. You have to understand, like, but why are they like that though? Your audience is a reflection of you. I am extremely aware of that now that we're closing in on 38,000 subscribers. When I was just a consumer of online content and not a creator, I actually used to have the opinion that you aren't really responsible for how your audience behaves, what they do, how they act, etc. I don't agree with that anymore. One of the beautiful things about building a community is that whether you try to make it happen or not, people naturally follow your lead in a way. The only comment section that's full of
Wing Wongs
on YouTube is mine, because that's what happens on this show. What does it say about Adin Ross that every time a person of color, a minority, comes on to his show, his broadcast, his stream, people are being racist? What does that say about the community he's built? What does that say about his content and what he allows and what he encourages? He would have been better off completely ignoring the clip, because him literally just admitting that they are racist to everybody actually makes him look so much worse. He's literally taking ownership of it. He's like, every time my audience is watching my stream, they are always treating people this way. I am aware of it and I'm not doing anything about it. Adin Ross, strong contender for
Wing Wong of the Week.
Something's burning, I can't figure out what. It's either lust or a cloud of dust.
The last post that I want to talk about today is from a Twitter account that goes by You Only Live Twice. Their name's Jay, and they have an owl emoji in their name, so you already know where we're going with this one. This is another special edition of what I like to call fighting ghost on the internet. This person lives in a certain type of online echo chamber where when they lash out at a nameless individual or entity, they assume that everybody knows what they're talking about. Because of the owl emoji in their name, I can assume that they're referring to Kendrick Lamar and Kendrick fans, but I don't know. Not entirely sure, but this is how the tweet reads.
Y'all falsely accused a man of pedophilia, told him he should die, shot up his house, almost killing his friend, put his kid's life in danger. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Whatever Drake does is justifiable, and y'all narratives ain't gonna work no more. Go cry about it.
Who is y'all? Who is y'all? Who are you talking to? Can you at somebody? Can you say their names? I don't know who y'all is. I didn't do any of that stuff. I have been hating on Drake for a considerable amount of time now, but this stuff doesn't really apply to me. And the only reason I'm putting myself in this situation is because I can only assume that they're referring to people that are hating on Drake, which I have been. So who are they talking about? Are they talking about Kendrick? Because they say, told him he should die. Kendrick Lamar did say that people like him should die, which doesn't sound like a direct threat to me.
Fuck a rap battle, he should die.
But then they say, shot up his house, almost killing his friend. Who was that? That wasn't Kendrick, and that wasn't any Drake hater. I mean, I can only assume that that person hates Drake. But again, like, I don't know who they're talking about. I also don't know who put Drake's child's life in danger. Like, what happened to Adonis? I thought he was fine. Tying your identity and emotional state to a man on the losing end of a rap beef is not a fruitful endeavor, in my opinion. Drake will never know about this tweet, but Jay, Mr. You Only Live 2X, I hope you find peace, dog. No one is crying over Drake making document requests, demanding paperwork, spending tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to try and retroactively win a rap beef in a courtroom. People are not worried or embarrassed. They're kind of just pointing and laughing or saying it's cringe. I'm just here to say it's
Wing Wong
behavior. But that's all I have for you all today. Please remember to
like the video
and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Love you, mean it, spread the bread, and enjoy the outro by Call Me LQ.
myself. They know who I am. I got beside myself. Hopping on tracks, I told them I'm about to go crazy. I got beside myself. Say it's going down now. How the women, children, and babies. I got beside myself. Ain't wasting no bars. They know I'm about to go ham. I got beside myself. They know who I am. I got. So quit rap, get a day job, and let the dream go. We got mad, untouched iron, and let the beam show. I hit his cap space so bad, he let the team go. I'm like the internet, I move faster when the pain low. It's like a bakery, I always got bread because I need dough. A broken faucet when I rap, it's called a free flow. Life complex whenever you're born a Negro. Spend life as a villain, was still searching for heroes.